So it's Sunday, and it's time for my mental health vlog. And the first thing I want to say is, how are y'all feeling? Are y'all doing okay? This was a week. This was a crazy week, and I spent, what was it, Tuesday, the 6th? No, Wednesday, the 6th. I spent the morning watching the confirmations on my home computer while I was working, and like the rest of you, who were watching the confirmations, and they suddenly went to recess, and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and then you find out that the Capitol's being stormed, and the protesters have broken in, and then, like many of you, I then had multiple news sources going on live stream. I had live streaming on my phone. I had live streaming on my home computer. I even had stuff going on my work computer, just probably like the rest of America, just trying to find out what was going on and to make sense of it all. And I watched the news all day long. I think I took like an hour and a half break at night to watch something that wasn't the news, and then as soon as it was over, I went right back to the news. And while I was watching something that wasn't the news, I was on my phone looking at the news. So it was a day, and it was a day that caused a bunch of emotions. There was fear and sadness and anger and uncertainty and confusion and so many more different emotions that a lot of them I'm not even sure I have words for. And it was a lot to take in, and I was very lucky that I had therapy scheduled for the next day and was able to talk to my therapist about a lot about like what I was feeling and a lot of where my concerns were. And I think the biggest thing for me to remember is the serenity prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I say that a lot when I get scared or frustrated or feel vulnerable or I have emotions I don't have words for. I have to look at it. I'm like, is this something that I can change? Me. Is this something that I can change? Is this something that I have any control over? No. Did I handle this week very well? No. I got on Facebook like many of you and started sharing news stories and sharing memes and trying to call out people who were supporting the wrong side of history. And I got myself in Facebook jail for 3 days. In fact, by the time I get ready to post this video, my suspension will just be ending. There was a woman who was comparing Breonna Taylor to the American terrorist that was shot and killed at the Capitol. And I called her trash and got banned for 3 days because I called her trash. Was I wrong in thinking she was trash? No. Was I wrong posting it on a public forum? Obviously, yes. So, the attack on the Capitol has consumed my entire week, as it has for most of Americans, if not most of the world. And it's scary, because we don't know what's going to happen. This was a failed attempted coup. Very similar to an attempted coup in Germany. And there were no consequences, and then 10 years later, Hitler took power. So I worry that history could repeat itself. I think that there are some people that are denouncing Trump that have supported him for many, many years, and I think they're just trying to do it to save face. Do I think it changes the way they really feel about things? No. Do I think that all of this hatred and negativity and white supremacy is going to go away on January 20th? No. Do I think it's going to go away in the next 4 years of the presidency? No. And it scares me to know that the thing we've been fearing for so many years finally came to fruition and got ugly. I was worried about my son being exposed to it and being confused about it and being scared about it. And it turns out that he saw some of the news with his daddy and understood that the writing was wrong. You know, the protest, people have the right to protest. They were allowed to protest, but the rioting was wrong. Just like, I'm sorry, but just like Black Lives Matter, I feel that the protests were fully warranted and continue to be warranted, but the rioting was not. I understood it, completely understood it, but didn't agree with it. I don't even understand this one, and it scares me. But my son watched a little bit of it, and he was kind of bored with it and wanted to go do something else. And I in part of my mind, I'm like, why don't you understand this more? Why don't you have more questions? And then I started to think about it. I'm like, I was about his age when the Berlin Wall came down, and it was all over the news, and everyone was watching it. And I was just kind of like, okay, can I go watch cartoons? So I get it. I have to remember he's only 8. But he knows right from wrong. He knows good from evil. And he knows that what happened at the Capitol was not good. So, got to spend Friday night with him, which was very nice. I took a little bit of authority on Friday night and told him that he couldn't watch the iPad, and we were going to eat dinner and watch a movie together, and we did. And he was a little rambunctious. He was a lot rambunctious. I almost had the need to tie him down, but we finally got through the movie, and then he got a bath, and then he went to bed. And then Saturday morning he had Taekwondo, and then we got some lunch, and then we played some Minecraft together, which I'm so horrible at, and I don't understand Minecraft at all, but I'm trying to figure it out so I can play with him. So when he does play on his iPad, I can at least interact and play with him. So trying to figure out that, and I'm not good at it. And of course, while I'm doing all of this, what am I also doing? I'm looking on my phone and checking the news and seeing what's happening is with talk about the 25th Amendment, and with talk about impeachment and then Twitter ban and media ban. And this was a week. And of course, I'm still processing all of the emotions and the feelings that I had. And then last night, my boyfriend was kind of down, so we watched a little bit of TV, and he went to bed early. And then today, we've just kind of spent the day together. This weather, this is Seattle weather. I live in Houston. This is Seattle weather. It's cold, and it's drizzly, and it's rainy, and I'm like, I moved away from this shit. But it just makes me sleepy. So yeah, I mean, it's been a week, and therapy was really good this week. I'm really glad I had it this week because I needed it, and talked a lot about the fact that I've taken a break from my step work for SAA, and I kind of took the holidays off, and that it's time to get back on track and get back to working on my step work. I'm right in front of a step 4, that everyone talks about being one of the hardest and most invasive steps to work on. So it's been very hard for me to be motivated to start that step. But if I don't start it, I don't finish it. So that is something that I can control, and that is something that I need to do. So I will be starting working on my 4th step soon. Traveling in a couple of weeks to see my family on Inauguration Day. That still scares me. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. This is not the time to let your self-care go by the wayside. Please make sure you're taking care of yourself. Get a massage, get a manicure, read a book, meditate, something. But make sure you're doing something for you. Because the world is crazy right now. And you're no good to anybody else if you're not taking care of yourself. Check on your friends. Let them know you love them and you care. Check on your family. Let them know you love them. Tell yourself you love yourself and take care of yourself. All right, guys, that's it for this week. I look scruffy as hell. I need to shave. I might do that this week. We'll see. Love you guys. I will see you next week. Stay safe. Wear a mask. We will get through this. All right. Bye, guys.